And we are live. Wow, okay. First live stream. I'm going to give it a second just to let some people come in. I'm going to share this link around. Let's see if we have anybody able to join us. Chetas, hello, how are you? Glad you could join us. We're just going to be letting some people join us for the live stream today. I went ahead and get started. But I'm going to be sharing this link around. Thanks so much for joining today. For those of you guys popping in, really appreciate you guys being here. Let's see. I'm going to share this link out. Let me do this. Yep. So guys, today we are going to be talking about Project Catalyst. Hey, it looks like we've got some people joining us. So we've got Shroom Nikki. What's up, Nikki? How are you? The Duck Pool. Hey, mate. Hope you're doing well, brother. Thanks so much for joining. Thomas Leon, hi from Norway. Hey, Thomas, thanks for joining today. 80180, looking good, Kaizen. Guys, it's great to be doing a live stream. I can't remember the last time I did a live stream. LB Crypto, hello, Kaizen. Hello, hello. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm going to be giving us just a couple seconds. We're going to let some people in. If you guys could, definitely be sure to share this link around. What we're going to be trying to do today is talk about Project Catalyst. Fund4 is underway, so voting started today. So talking a little bit about that and seeing if we can help answer any questions from the community about all the crazy stuff happening with Project Catalyst. So really excited about that. If you guys could just bear with me for a second, I'm just going to share the link around. Let me see what we got here. But thank you all so much for joining. I hope you guys are all doing well. A little bit of a different setup. I've got to shake the rust off a little bit. It's been a minute since I did a live stream. So I got to get back into the groove. All right, just sharing this link around. Going to be taking a look here at the chat. Let's see who we got. Alan, hello, hello. Jago, what's up, Kaizen? What's up, man? The Duck Pool, only here for moral support. Hey, I appreciate that, man. You know, moral support goes a long way nowadays. Shroom Nikki said, good, and you excited to hear those proposals? Yeah, definitely, Nikki. I'm excited about that too. You know, I was taking a look just before we got started with the live stream, and there are so many different proposals. I think Fund4 had like 5 different categories now that they're sorting through for all these different proposals. And, you know, it can be pretty overwhelming if you're looking at it and you're trying to figure out what all these proposals mean. So hoping to help clarify, we're just going to go through that today. Hopefully answer some of your questions. You know, we'll do a bit of an AMA at the end. We'll have some fun today. Catherine, hey everyone, from Washington State. Hello. Baron, I'm here to join the cult. Ah, okay. Chetas, if you use earphones, only hearing audio in left ear, anything with audio settings. Thanks for letting me know, Chetas. I'm going to have to take a look at that. I'm sorry about that, brother. I'll have to take a look and see what I can do for you there. Jeff says, hello from Denmark. Hello. Thanks for joining, Jeff. Let's see. We got Manny MJ. Hello. First time joining you on a stream. Yes, it has been a while for sure. KEWW Catalyst Project. Holy cow, randomly got on the YouTube for a drive home and you are live. Hey, thanks so much for joining, man. Cardano Monsters. Kaizen. Happy to be here. Thanks so much. Glad you could join us. Big Pay. Big Pay is in the house. Hey, dude. What's up, Big Pay? How are you, brother? I saw you did your live stream yesterday, so I figured I'd hop on the bandwagon, you know. I got to shake off the rust here a little bit, but should be a fun live stream. Thanks so much for joining today, brother. Duckpool, everyone hit that like. Yes. Guys, if you are joining us, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you could, definitely hit that like. Let me know in the chat what you guys are excited about. We're going to be talking all about Project Catalyst today. Fund4 voting starts today, so taking a look at all that. We're going to go through some of those questions. It looks like audio is on one side only. Yep, paratyped. Sorry about that there. We're going to have to take a look at that. You know, we've just got to shake off the rust here. It's been a while since we did a live stream, so I'm going to work out those settings. Appreciate the feedback, guys. All right, guys, perfect. So we got some people here. I just went ahead and shared this link around. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm really excited about the live stream today. So it's been a while since we did a live stream. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're talking about here today with Catalyst. So I'm using OBS today. I think that's why we're probably having some issues with the audio settings. I'm going to do a quick little magic trick. All right, so hopefully you guys can see my screen. Let's take a look. So I'm right there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to make this bigger. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so guys, let's go ahead and get started. So taking a look at Project Catalyst. So Fund4 voting started today. So we are here on the Reddit. This is a post from IOG, and they went ahead and just provided an update on where you can get some more details on what we're talking about with Project Catalyst. So this is the Reddit, all you need to know, Fund4 voting. Okay guys, let's go ahead and go through this. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. There's going to be a lot of content in this video. So what we're talking about here, what is the timeline like? So today, June 15th, 11 UTC is when voting started. As far as when voting ends, June 25th. So you got 10 days to vote. As far as the registration, so the registration period has ended. You wanted to have made sure you registered before the voting timeline started. So if you did register, congrats, you're going to be able to vote on some of these proposals. So where and how to vote. So we've got some information here, like a frequently asked question, talking more about voting starts, the Catalyst voting app. So I'm definitely going to recommend you guys check out this link. Let me see if I can go ahead and put that in the chat for you guys. There's lots of information here, so I want to make sure you guys get that. Guys, I'm going to turn away for the chat for just a second. We're just going to go through some of this information. Now, as far as voting and how that works with voting power, so when you hold ADA in your wallet, essentially the way it works is it counts one-to-one with your voting power. So let's say in this instance, the ADA amount that you have to have, the minimum, is 500 ADA. If you have 500 ADA, that counts one-to-one, so you'd have 500 as your voting power. And you can have any amount of ADA. So it's just an example, you know, if you have 5,000 ADA, you have 5,000 as your voting power. Now, as far as voting on any of these proposals, so you can vote yes with a thumbs up, you can vote no with a thumbs down, or you can take no action, right? So it's just neutral. You don't really want to support the project. So that's no problem at all. So you got 3 different options there. You can change your mind and you can adjust your votes whenever until the deadline. So if you want to go back and revise any of your votes, let's say if you choose yes one day, but then you decided, you know what, you just want to opt out altogether, you can change that as long as it's before the voting deadline, which is the 25th. Now, every time you vote, so this is a big question. I actually just got a question about this before we started going live. So as far as when you vote, every time you vote, all of your voting power is applied to any proposal you choose. So let's say, for instance, you have a proposal which you'd like to support and you give it a thumbs up. And you have, as your voting power, you had the minimum amount required. So you had 500 ADA in your wallet when you registered. So that 500 ADA is going to count 100% of your voting power towards that upvote for that proposal. Now you can vote on multiple proposals, right? So let's say if you have a few projects you'd like to support, if you choose thumbs up for each of those proposals, 100% of your voting power is going to be applied to each of those proposals. So that's a question that I did get before we started. So that is also covered here in this Reddit thread. So I did go ahead and drop that link for you guys in the chat. For those of you guys who are on desktop, you know, feel free to take a look at that as we go through some of these proposals. So what we're talking about here, let's see. I'm just going to go through this, guys, seeing if I can touch on some key points. Rewards. So let's talk about rewards. So voting is incentivized, just like you would by delegating and staking to a pool. You know, you earn that passive income. There is also an incentive for participating in Project Catalyst. As far as what we're talking about here with this Fund4, 140,000 US dollars in ADA will be distributed to all participants who participated in this Fund4. So now reward distribution is expected beginning of July, and it will be sent back to your registered wallet in the same format as your staking rewards, not as a separate transaction. So as far as being able to keep track of when you're going to be getting paid these voting rewards, it's going to be paid along with your staking rewards. This is going to be expected beginning of July, so there's a little bit of time for that. Now, how are you going to be able to tell what you've earned in voting rewards? So there's this really cool website. I'm sure a lot of you guys who participate in NFTs have heard about it. So pool.pm. I love pool.pm. I'm honestly on that website all day. It's pretty crazy. So check pool.pm. I think you'll enjoy that. There's actually a tab at the top that shows you your voting rewards when you enter in your public address. So definitely go ahead and check that out. I think that is pretty much some of the nitty gritty behind the frequently asked questions. Of course, at the end of this live stream, we will be going through some of those questions. So if you do have a question about anything that we're talking about, go ahead and let me know in the chat and I'll make sure I do my best to get to it. Now, with Fund4, we've got a few different funding categories. So let's take a look at these. This is very interesting to see. It's amazing to see the growth for Project Catalyst. So we've got DApp creation and integrations. You guys know we're eagerly anticipating Goguen with the Alonzo hard fork. So as soon as we see this upgrade, I mean, we're going to have these applications being built right out the gate. So just incredible. Next is going to be developer ecosystem. Next is distributed decision making. We've got proposer outreach, Catalyst value onboarding, local community centers, and the Cardano community choice. So many different categories that we're looking at here for these proposals. DApp creation has the most with 106 proposals. So the DApp ideas that are being built right now is just incredible. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. So now, as far as how you're going to go through and look at these proposals, it's going to be on cardano.ideascale.com. This article is incredible. So it actually has a link to this specific category within IdeaScale. So let's go ahead and check that out. I'm going to go ahead and open up this link. Guys, we're going to go through this really quickly. I'm going to quickly turn to the chat before we jump into this. Let me see if we have any questions here. Uh-oh, we've got Eye of the King. What's up? What's up? EOK. What is up, my man? Kaizen, you sexy beast. What's up? What's up, Eye of the King? Thanks so much for being here. Lance Thomas, can we vote as many times as you like? Yeah, Lance, great question. So you are definitely able to vote as many times as you like. You want to make sure you do that before the voting deadline. Ada 180, Kaizen, Big Pay, Ada 180, Round Table. Would be great to get a little Cardano YouTube channel collaboration. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Would be great to put that together. Let's see. So Shroomnicky 49 watching and only 28 likes. Guys, hit that like. I know it's been a while since we did a live stream, but I really do appreciate the support. Let's see. It's kind of a random live stream too, so it's all good. For those of you replay viewers, feel free to skip ahead. Just going through the chat right now. No worries. Crypto T. Do you have to register for each fund? I registered during Fund 1, but wasn't able to vote, so don't know where to start. So Crypto T, definitely glad you're able to join us for the live stream today. As far as being able to vote for Project Catalyst, you do have to register to vote for each individual funding round. So we're on Fund 4 right now. So the registration unfortunately has ended. I put out a lot of content for that. So if you do want to stay up to date, please do consider subscribing and clicking the bell icon so you know exactly when I post that content. But yes, you do have to register for each specific funding round. So guys, let's quickly go ahead and take a look. So we've got dApps and integrations. $200,000 worth of ADA is going to be funded from the Treasury to get these proposals off the ground. So whichever proposals do get funded, 200,000 ADA is set aside for dApps and integration. So this is going to be the cardano.ideascale website. You've got a nice little landing page here. When you click on that link from the Reddit article, it gives you a few different things to take a look at here as far as the process to get these proposals funded. So we're taking a look at the campaign timeline. It shows you the dates in which this is all taking place. You've got essentially a breakdown of some of the key topics that they're looking for within this category. Now, as far as taking a look at some of these ideas, let's go ahead and click on Browse Ideas. Open that up in a new window, and this is going to give you a rundown of all of these amazing Project Catalyst proposals. So this is super cool. I want to go through this with you guys and see if there's any proposals that you are hoping to get funded. I know I've got a couple that I wanted to take a look at. Our friends at Cardano Scan, Ashish, really cool guy. We had a conversation just a couple days ago. They're building some cool stuff there. Cardano Scan is another invaluable tool made by members in the Cardano community. So I would love to see their proposal get funded. But if there is any Project Catalyst proposal you guys would like to cover in this live stream, go ahead and let me know in the chats. All right, so let's go through some of these. Now, guys, I'm just going to go very high level first, and then if there was any that you would like us to look at, we'll go through that. But what we have at the top, it's got the name, and then there's this little clap icon. So this is referred to as kudos. So we're going to see these proposals with the clap icons, you got the number of kudos that this proposal has received. Essentially what that is just the support from the community to see this proposal get funded. So I really like this one. So you guys know we've got the YouTube channel, we got all that kind of stuff, trying to provide value for the Cardano community. This is interesting. So a community-driven content production. So what you see here, when you click on one of these proposals, it gives you a problem statement. It's giving them a description where you can provide a solution to the problem, any type of relevant experience that this team may have. And you got a bit more details here related to this proposal. So as you guys can see, it's quite a bit to go through. It's pretty dry when it comes to the type of content that we're able to create, but I wanted to give you a rundown of how to go through these. So what we're looking at here, you can see their cost structure. Essentially, if they get funded, how will they use that money, basically? So we can see here that most of it would be used to pay web developers, blockchain developers, UI, UX. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at their problem statement. So producing informational, educational content involves a lot of work, and it's hard to predict what is valuable to the Cardano community. Yep. Describe your solution to the problem: a collab platform for community-driven content production based on content models with built-in token-based governance on content and models. Okay, that's interesting. So they would want to create a platform and have their own type of token, which acts as a form of governance token as well. Pretty cool. So it's almost like a DAO for content creation. So I like that idea. Pretty cool. That's the community-driven content production proposal for dApps and integration. So that's how I like to look at it, just kind of a high level of what we're doing here with Project Catalyst. Let's go to take a look at another one, plug and play personal stake pool. That seems pretty awesome. Now, you see the difference here with these proposals, right? So the proposal that we had clicked on previously had an entire breakdown of how they would use the capital. They had a very well thought out mission statement. Of course, there was a bit more details than we would have liked to have gone through in this live stream. But for the sake of argument, this proposal, as we can see, it does have quite a few kudos up here. But then if we look and see what kind of details are provided, it doesn't really give us a whole lot. So let's take a look at this problem statement. Now, this is not throwing shade on this proposal. I'm just trying to objectively look and share some opinions on how you can make the best decisions to choose which proposals you'd like to support. So the problem statement here is saying that they want to have one securing the network, something like the hollow port, only then for Cardano. Okay, so describe your solution to the problem. Oracle, stake your own ADA, environmentally friendly. So it looks like they used a whole lot of tags here within describing the solution to the problem. Relevant experience, can anyone make this happen? So something like this is more of a idea being put out there by somebody in the community. I think it's a great idea, really cool to have a plug and play stake pool. I just don't know if this is something that's actionable, right? So that's what I like to look for with these proposals, is I want to see a team with relevant experience. I want to see a proposal that has a breakdown of how the capital is going to be allocated. Things like that are very important when choosing these Catalyst proposals. Let's see here. So turning to the chat real quick, guys. Cardano Monsters tried to register with my Trezor, but they found a glitch with the firmware of it working with Yoroi or Daedalus. The Trezor, I believe it's working with Daedalus. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure about that, Cardano Monster. I think that there was a firmware update to support voting, but if you're saying that you had tried it, but there was a glitch with the firmware, that could be another situation there. So sorry to hear about that, man. Hoping that they can get these bugs resolved, because you guys know we're still in the early days of all this. I would say for those of you 52 watching, lots of love to you. We're here in the early days. So whatever pains we're going through, I'm hoping that it's something we get worked out as time goes on. Let's see here. Haskell Plus, keep up the great work, Kaizen. Hey, thanks so much, brother. I really appreciate you being here. The duck pool, plug and pray. Yes, wise words from an experienced man. The stake pool would be a plug and pray. That is for sure. Yep. Duck and I go way back, way back. All right, let's check out this one. So Liquid, Haskell devs for Liquid Plutus smart contracts. I'm so excited about the Liquid project. So as far as DeFi, smart contracts, all the different use and utility for the Cardano blockchain, when we do have applications, I really love Liquid's approach. We see so many different projects now coming up with innovative funding, innovative methods of getting funded. But I think that Liquid really did the Cardano community right. With going through Project Catalyst, with being incredibly transparent. I just want to say kudos to the Liquid team, because this takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to put together a well thought out plan, submit it to Catalyst, have pretty much follow-ups by producing these reports on your progress. I mean, that is like gold standard. So big shout out to the Liquid team. Let's take a look at their proposal. So Haskell devs for Liquid Plutus smart contracts. Their problem statement says Plutus is Cardano's smart contract layer written in Haskell. First target users to build secure DeFi contracts in Plutus are senior Haskellers. So they want to get these guys trained up so that they can start building applications. So, and if you guys look at these proposals, I mean, you'll see the amount of thought that has gone into, putting something like this together. Incredible. Definitely take a look at this. They've got their GitHub link, so you can see all their repositories for the code that is being written here. So they are requesting total funds in USD of $36,500. And I love to see their budget breakdown too. Pretty much what this would be is to bring on 4 full-time senior Haskell developers and 2 part-time senior Haskell developers. So what this is basically is they want to kind of beef up their dev capacity so that they can start building these really incredible applications with Plutus. So awesome to see that. Definitely going to be supporting the Liquid team with their Haskell devs for Liquid Plutus smart contracts. Really cool to see that. Do you guys have any that you would like to take a look at? Let me know. Let me know. Metal Gear said, I voted for that. Yeah, I think it's incredible. I think that what the Liquid team is doing is really cool. Another project that I was looking at was Revuto. So Revuto is a subscription management platform. So if you think about having a subscription to Netflix, Hulu, you've got Amazon Prime, you've got a whole bunch of different subscription services that you would sign up for. How can blockchain manage that in a solution that is easy and convenient to the end user? So Revuto is trying to do something very similar to that. So they actually had a token sale. Unfortunately, wasn't able to participate. It wasn't available to US residents. I think that's going to be the case for a lot of these startups that are offering token sales. Just a little FYI, not financial advice. But let's take a look at their problem statement. So they are talking about subscription management via Revuto virtual debit cards supporting Cardano. So for more information, go ahead and click on the link. So they've got their entire platform built out. They just went ahead with their token launch. Nice to see what they have here in terms of their relevant experience, how they measure success. So they definitely do have some things that they have going for them with their vision for their project. As far as how they would like to get funded, so they're requesting $60,000 in USD. And the plan is to use the funds from the grant to launch the Revuto app and Revuto token sale in June 2021. So I wish there was a bit more concrete information as to how this funds would be used. It just shows us that they would like 60 grand. And they did actually have their token sale. So there is revenue coming in from their token sale as well. So things like that. It's nice to see that their project is making progress. I just would have liked to have seen a little bit more details related to how they would use $60,000. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other proposals. Genomic Data Marketplace. Nice. That's interesting. Very cool. Guys, some of these ideas, if you're looking for cool ideas, just go to Project Catalyst. Go to our IdeaScale. Cardano.ideascale, and you'll see just what is possible on Cardano. I mean, it's insane. Afropay. Africans often do not use bank accounts, and even when they do, they have the control that they should when transferring money from A to B. So remittances, right? Sending money back and forth without a middleman. I think it's a great idea. Let's see here. Okay, so guys, I'm not going to go too long with this one specific category. We've got a few different categories to tackle here. So nice to see those Project Catalyst proposals. I would definitely recommend you guys check out this link. I will also be sure to leave the link in the description for any replay viewers. Go ahead and check this out. It's going to be a one-stop shop pretty much for you to see everything that's being submitted in terms of these proposals. Next, let's go ahead and check out the developer ecosystem. Okay, so Fund4 developer ecosystem. So the goal behind this is going to be how can we create a positive developer experience that builds the developer focus on building successful apps. So this is $400,000 in ADA. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these ideas. So we'll do browse ideas. Okay, let's see here. I'm just going to go through these. I'm going to try and find some that have quite a bit of support from the community. Okay, so guys, I was mentioning the one from Ashish with Cardano Scan. So I found it. It's going to be networking, Ouroboros networking library in JavaScript. Cardano has tools only in Haskell. Developers are constrained due to the lack of a networking library in other languages such as JavaScript. So I want to see something like this get funded. Definitely going to be supporting this proposal by Ashish. And the reason is because it makes a lot of sense. If you think about the native languages for applications on Cardano, it's written in Plutus, right? It's Haskell. Between Plutus and Marlowe, you're going to have like the ability to write these smart contracts in their native programming language. But if you think about the amazing talent that's out there in the world, a lot of people don't know Haskell. There's JavaScript, right? There's HTML. Like there are so many different programming languages. There's Rust. If you were in the ITN, it was built on Rust code. So there's so many different smart contract possibilities with other programming languages. What Ashish is proposing is to create an Ouroboros networking package in JavaScript, which allows talking to the Cardano node by easily installing the npm package. So it's a lot of technical stuff there, but what they want to do is make the tools available to the wider developer community in languages such as JavaScript. So I love to see that. Why JavaScript? So JavaScript is a widely used programming language, and Node.js is the most favorite development platform among the developer. Having this package in JavaScript will strongly boost a new family of projects and tools around Cardano. Absolutely. You know, just think about the possibilities that can be built when you open up the tools to the wider developer community. So I love the idea. I think it's great. I would really like to see this proposal get funded. As far as their budget and timeline, so great job to the team here for creating such a detailed plan. Really nice to see that they estimate to deliver the specifics in about 3 to 4 months with a plan to dedicate 2 people to the project. The cost for the implementation, so they're planning to pay 2 devs, right? So they're gonna have 2 people building on this, most likely full-time, $77,000 US. They're also going to need money to pay for their cloud VM costs so they can set up these relays on the Cardano blockchain. So $2,000 to cover that. And their other infrastructure costs would be about $1,000. Their total requested funds in US dollars is going to be $80,000. So nice to see what they've already done for the community as well with Cardano Scan. Cardano Scan is one of my favorite explorers, and would be really great to see what they can build if this proposal gets funded. So all the best to Ashish with Cardano Scan, hoping that proposal gets funded. We've got another one from Liquid. So Liquid is crushing it. I mean, this is just incredible. So let's go and take a look at this one. This other proposal is going to be for the developer ecosystem. It's the Haskell DeFi SDK for Plutus devs. Cardano DeFi developers need an open source standardized method for querying several DeFi protocols in parallel to build composable layer 2 dApps. So a lot of technical stuff. Again, incredible job with their outline. So they've got a roadmap put together. They've got a clear plan and a breakdown of how they plan on using the capital. This would be very similar to the other proposal. It would be for 2 full-time Haskell devs and 2 part-time Haskell developers. Guys, if I'm gaining anything from this, it's to learn Haskell and become a full-time developer. Seriously, these guys are getting paid. You know, just to see the progress that these guys are making, it's incredible. It's really cool. I'm excited. All right, let's go back. Okay, guys, so that was the developer ecosystem. $400,000 US in ADA is going to be used for this area of Fund4. So let's go ahead and go back. We're just going to fly right through these real quick, and then if there was any specific proposals you guys would like to go back and take a look at, we'll make sure we do that. Let's go ahead and turn to the chat. Let's see who we got. Guys, we got 54 people. Thank you all so much for joining the live stream today. I really appreciate it. It's been a while since we did a live stream, so I'm so glad to see all of you guys here. Let's see, ADA 180, Cardano, the new home of DeFi. Yes, absolutely. Let's see here. Jordan Dean, anyone else getting audio from the left side? Yeah, Jordan, I'm sorry about that, brother. Working out the kinks, we just got to shake the rust off. So I apologize about the audio, guys. I hope you guys will be able to bear with me. We're going to be working throughout all the settings, hoping to be able to go live a little bit more often, but I appreciate the feedback there, man. Rado says, thank you for your precious work, dude. Following you with excitement every time. Cheers from Bulgaria. Hey, thanks so much, brother. I really appreciate that. Derek says, yep, it's kind of uncomfortable with headphones. Yeah, sorry about that, man. We will be sure to work on that and hopefully get that fixed for next time. Ada 180, looking at Ada Finance 2, the lead team members are part of the Plutus Pioneers program. Any thoughts? As far as the Plutus Pioneers and who is submitting these proposals, I think that the people right now who are being onboarded into the Pioneer program have a perfect opportunity with IdeaScale to be able to say that you are actually being onboarded inside the Plutus Pioneers program so that when we do have smart contracts available on Cardano, you're able to hit the ground running because you already have the necessary experience. What Catalyst would allow for is pretty much the capital you would need to get started. So I think both of them could really work hand in hand for those Plutus Pioneers out there. Cardano.ideascale, Project Catalyst. That is probably the best way for any aspiring developer who wants to build on Cardano to get off the ground. So yeah, I love it. Let's see. Belmar says, is it possible to register to vote? Do you need a minimum ADA to vote? Yes. So unfortunately, we are done with the registration process. So if you didn't register for Fund4, it's going to be Fund5, which is going to be where you'll be able to participate. You'll have to register in order to vote for each specific funding round. The minimum is going to be 500 ADA. So you need at least 500 ADA in order to participate in voting. Thanks so much for the question, though. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Trying to get to all of your questions. Todd says, this is the first time voting. Thank you so much for the great information. Hey, thanks so much, Todd. Glad you could make the live stream today. Fu said, is there a way to reset the pin for the voting on the app? So when you set the pin, it's going to be specific to the QR code that you scan inside the app. If you forget the pin, you just have to go through the process. I think it would probably be easier to just start over. So as far as resetting the pin, it's going to be tied to that QR code. So it might make more sense, just to save you time, to just go through the process again if you do forget the pin. Make sure you have saved the QR code and saved the pin. So I like to just write it down because you will need that when you go to vote. But great question. Anthony is in the house. Anthony with Bloompool. What's up, Pratesh? Thanks so much, Anthony. I really appreciate you joining, man. Hope you're doing well. Ryan says, thanks for the great information. Thanks so much, Ryan. Really appreciate it. Metal Gear says, when can I do degen yield farming on Cardano? Soon. You guys know the answer. It's soon with the red ball. KEWW says, I jump in on that round table if you have room for a startup like myself. Yeah, we'll probably put together a collaboration. No worries. No worries there. Let's see here. So Freebird says, hi, what was the project requesting ADA funding from holders? They were saying May 25th funding date. So Freebird, there's quite a few right now that are coming up. We've seen there's Sunday Swap, there's Revuto. We had just talked about the Revuto. They actually had their token sale. If you guys are keeping up with what's going on in Africa, World Mobile Token also is another one. Unfortunately, none of these token sales are available to us here in the United States. I think there's an issue there with the SEC and whatnot. But it's one of those things. Hopefully we'll be able to participate in other ways. But it could have been one of those, man. I'm not entirely sure of the exact project. The Duck Pool, hit the like. Yep, guys, if you are enjoying this live stream today, please be sure to drop a like. It really does help out. I see we got about 56 people watching and 57 likes. So you guys are awesome. There's nothing else I can say. I mean, you guys are absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Freebird says basically only our staking rewards would be donated to them for the new tokens. So Freebird, I think you're probably talking about Sunday Swap. So with Sunday Swap, what they were doing is if you were to delegate to their pool, it's considered an initial stake pool offering. What they would do is take your staking rewards in exchange for their Sunday tokens. It's a very simplified way to look at it, but instead of earning ADA every 5 days, you would get paid in their Sunday tokens for delegating to their stake pool. So it's one of those innovative new ideas to raise capital. As far as the legitimacy of it, it's a new concept. It's not something that has been done before. So it's very hard to say. It is very hard to say. I mean, their project has completely exploded in the amount of interest. I do have to say, I mean, it's just incredible to see the traction that they've been given. Would recommend you check out an interview from Big Pay. Big Pay actually interviewed the guys. I think his name is Pi. So that was a really great interview. Learned a lot about the project. But check that out, man. I think that you'll get a lot more information on Sunday Swap. But thanks so much for the question. Really appreciate it. Ryan says, what do you think about the platform for ordering drugs online platform under the proposer outreach? Yeah, so like a Silk Road, but for Cardano? I mean, like, I'm sure it's possible. I just don't know, like, how long it would be operational. Um, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'll have to check that out. That's a cool one. Anthony says, I'm getting a tattoo. Watching Kaizen, life doesn't get much better than this. What? Bro, you're getting a tattoo right now and you're watching Kaizen crypto? I mean, like, how do you get much more legendary? Like, dang, okay, I got to up my game over here. Hey, man, if you could, I would love to see the tattoo. I wonder what kind that you're getting. Malik says, is DOT and XRP good to buy? Not financial advice, Malik. You got to definitely do your own due diligence there. We are just talking about Project Catalyst today. Freebird says, SEC, that answers why I had a tough time. Thanks. Yeah, the SEC is going to be coming down on some of these projects. I've got a strong feeling about it. Let's see. Asolos, that's kind of why I've been very hesitant to have some of these projects on the channel. You know, I just don't want to be misleading people to go out and put their money in something and all of a sudden this project is like exit scams and basically a lot of people lose a lot of money, because you just got to be careful. It's very akin to what we saw back in 2017 with the ICOs. You know, so many of those projects failed. I think we'll see a lot of that on Cardano, unfortunately. That's not to say that all of them are bad, but it's something that you definitely have to be very careful about, especially when it comes to creating content. Asalos says, hi Kaizen, good to see you. Good to see you too, brother. Thanks so much for joining. Many thanks for all your videos. Yep, I really appreciate the kind words there, man. It's a labor of love for sure. I'm so glad to be on this journey with you. Says, can we stay at Kobe? In the beginning, I had to switch to your new nodes approximately each month or so. Yeah, you're perfectly fine in Kobe stake pool there. Yeah, you are all good. Oh, it's pronounced Aeolus, Greek god of the wind. Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks so much for correcting me there. So it's Aeolus. Very cool. Awesome, guys. So let's go ahead and get back to it. So I think we did distributed decision making. No, we didn't do that. So let's go ahead and check out distributed decision making. So we've got 19 proposals in this category. Let's see what we're looking at here. So distributed decision making in Fund4. $50,000 worth of ADA is going to be used to fund these proposals. So how can we help the Catalyst community to get better at distributed decision making within the next two Catalyst rounds? So I'm hoping by creating this content, it definitely does play a little bit of a role in that, but that is a great idea to be proposed by the community. So let's check out some of these ideas. Oh, this one's interesting. Open source governance UI. So users are overwhelmed by distributed decision making and developers do not have the funding to complete the network upgrades. How so? Let's take a look. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the solution to their problem. So I just described to you a bit of their problem statement. So Commonwealth provides blockchain networks a reliable and time-tested UX UI to empower their users and devs to make decisions quickly. Relevant experience includes the team at Commonwealth and Macroscape have worked on projects for the ETH Foundation, Edgeware, and Nodal, which are collaborating for this. Interesting. Very interesting. So I guess what they want to do is build some type of user interface to pretty much aggregate all of these different ideas that we're seeing here with Project Catalyst. So interesting initiative. As far as what they're doing with their proposal and how they would like to get funded, they do have a clear timeline as to what they're looking at here. It's saying that once they get funded, if they do, their time estimate is about 3 to 4 weeks for software development, which is reasonable. As far as their requested amount in funding, so 25,000 US dollars, also pretty reasonable. So something like this is one that I would have to look at because I feel like it is a viable solution to the problem. So nice to see that. Very, very cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at some more ideas. Okay, catalystwinners.com. Oh, that's a very nice domain name. It's very appropriate. So the problem statement is it is currently not easy to find which projects have won on each fund. That could eventually undermine the transparency of Catalyst. Yes and no. I think that we do have some tools already that allow us to see which proposals got funded, but for what it's worth, let's take a look and see what they're trying to do. So their plan is to build a website to show who has won on each fund and each campaign. That way anyone would know exactly which projects have won on which fund and which campaign. In order to keep the winning teams accountable to the community, I can interview them on the Cardano podcast. After a few weeks of having won, I will embed that video interview on the products page on catalystwinners.com. So this is almost like a platform that they want to create to keep up to date with all the winners for Catalyst. I like the idea of interviewing each of the winners. I think that will really increase the transparency of the funds that are being distributed to the winners of these proposals. So I really like the idea. I think that's cool. As far as their funding, what they're looking for is $5,680 in funding. Website design is what's going to be most for their budget, $3,500. A logo design, they want $200. Website hosting, $480. Working hours. Okay, a little bit of nitty gritty there for how they want to get funded, but big picture, they're looking for $5,600 for funding. So we'll see. I like the idea. To create a platform like this that'll have content on the winners for these proposals, I think it's a great idea. So going through some of these, we got to check out WADA. Guys, I'm so excited. So we're talking to the WADA team. We're really trying to keep up to date with everything happening in Africa. So we're going to have the opportunity very soon to be speaking with the teams at WADA, at Proof of Africa. So I know you guys really enjoy the content related to what's happening with Cardano in Africa. So make sure you subscribe. Definitely don't want to miss that video. It should be coming up very soon. I'm so excited to see what they are building there. But let's take a look at this. So this is the WADA Outreach Smart Catalyst users. So as far as their problem statement, WADA's outreach is currently limited by their web app capacity. They need their own solid integrated management system to optimize outreach. So as far as the solution to the problem, what they want to do is build WADA a solid, scalable, distributed proof of concept DApp from the ground up using servant server, Haskell, and Elm. Interesting. Okay, so they've got a nice idea here, very well laid out. So this is a bit more of the technical side of things, but they do have quite a bit of details related to how they plan on building this. They've got a clear timeline where they've got different phases for this project. They've got even risk management, so they're looking at all scenarios here. This is great. They're talking about their team, who they plan on working with to make this a reality. They've got other proposals that they've linked to. So we'll take a look at those as well. I think that's pretty cool to see. As far as their budget breakdown, so for this proposal, they're requesting $9,000 in funding. As far as how they're going to be using it, it's going to be mostly to pay for developers. $7,000 will be used to pay for developers. CI/CD logistics is about $1,000. And research and development motivation is about $1,000. So fairly modest as far as the amount of funding that they're requesting to get off the ground. So interesting to see that. I'm hoping that they also get funded. I'm going to be voting for this proposal, that is for sure. And guys, please do keep in mind also that this content is not intended to be an endorsement for any of these proposals. Really just sharing with you all my opinions. As far as which proposals you guys should vote for, it's completely up to you. Please do not take this as any type of advice for which proposals that you should vote for. I'm just sharing with you guys how to look at these proposals, giving you all some opinions on what I like to look at, some things that I feel like would bring value to the community. So you definitely do have to do your own due diligence there. But this is the other proposal from WADA, local centers in West Africa. So I just want to quickly touch on this before we move on here. So problem statement is going to be, WADA's blockchain resource hub for solution design have no formal relationship with the Cardano Foundation. As far as their solution to the problem, they want to obtain Cardano Foundation funding to register hubs and to enable access to the foundation's oversight and resources. Wow. Wow, that's pretty incredible. I'm sure that would bring a lot of value to that region. Just the amount of context that would be within that area and being able to leverage the leads from the Cardano Foundation. It's like just having the two work together, just really cool. They've got information here related to their team. They've got their budget breakdown. This proposal is seeking $4,000 in funding, very, very modest sum of money. So hoping for the best for WADA to see their proposals get funded. Gonna quickly take a look at the chat. Let's see if we got any questions. Let's see here. Personal extension. Rumor of ADA ATM on-ramp to boost access discussion on Twitter a while back. Is that a thing? Yeah, I did see that about the ADA ATM. I think it was actually a proposal in a previous funding round. As far as if it got funded or not, I'm not entirely sure, but I do think that it would help overall adoption. As far as whether it's a viable business model, I'm not entirely sure. It would just depend on the infrastructure they use to set up these ATMs. And as far as the type of cost basis that they would have, what's your expenses, what's your revenue from owning the ATM, things like that. But I do think it would help with overall adoption for sure. Okay, Ricardo, let's see here. Eolus says, why is the reward sometimes 0 for a single epoch? Well, it just depends on if the pool mints the block. So like a lot of times with smaller pools, let's say if it doesn't have enough ADA delegated to mint the block each epoch, unfortunately, if the pool doesn't mint the block, there's no rewards paid to the delegator. So, that's the thing there. So it's really the goal of the stake pool operator to try and get that pool up to the amount of ADA delegated where you're able to consistently mint blocks. So Ricardo says, started staking with you a few weeks ago. Thanks for the gains. Hey, Ricardo, thanks so much for the support there, man. I really appreciate that. Glad you could join us for the live stream today. Winter Solstice says, thanks for the work you do for the community. Thanks so much for the kind words, man. I really appreciate you joining us today. All right, guys, very cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at some more of these proposals. So we're going to go through some of these at the later part of this live stream. If there was any specific proposals you guys would like to take a look at, we can definitely do that. No problem at all. I'd like to just end it up with a bit of an AMA, seeing it's our first time going live in a little while. And then we'll go ahead and sign off for the day. But I hope you guys are all doing well. It's really fun to get a chance to talk with you guys and share some thoughts about all this stuff. It's really exciting because we've got the Cardano 360 coming up at the end of the month. So we're going to get an update on Alonzo and the progress being made there. So we've got the stake pool operator pioneers, spinning up these Alonzo nodes, and they're getting everything ready for Goguen. Goguen is expected tentatively August, September this year. So things are moving. Things are really, really taking shape. And it's just really exciting time to be involved in Cardano. All right, let's go through some of these guys. If you see one that you like, let me know in the chat. So this next one is going to be Proposer Outreach. So Fund4 Proposer Outreach is going to allocate $50,000 in ADA to see these proposals get funded. How can we encourage entrepreneurs from outside the Cardano ecosystem to submit proposals to Catalyst in the next 2 funds? So trying to bring on board new people as we see the full functionalities and developments happening with Cardano, reaching more of a mainstream, wider audience. So nice focus there for Fund4. Let's take a look at some of these proposals. Okay, so this one has received quite a bit of kudos from the community. Very, very interesting proposal. Let's see. Oh, this is actually including one of our dear friends, Juan Sierra. This is really cool. Would like to support this if I can. Their problem statement is that Project Catalyst wants to attract the best and brightest outside entrepreneurs and firms, submitting proposals in Fund 5 and Fund 6. So their solution to the problem being that we've got a lot of bright people outside of the Cardano community. How do they want to bring people inside the community and submit ideas? they want to post challenges on LinkedIn and social media and ask for comments and invite people to IdeaScale to create profiles and review proposals. So a bit of social media marketing there, a bit of campaigning around the idea for Project Catalyst. So I like it. I think it's a very awesome initiative as far as being able to get more people involved in this type of governance, as far as voting to improve the Cardano protocol. As far as their funds, they've requested $25,000 in funds. It doesn't give much in terms of details as to how this capital would be allocated. They do have a LinkedIn link, so you can check that out. We'll also collab with another proposal, so this is going to be educational content. So I don't know if they laid it out very well. If I could provide any feedback, guys, this is not throwing shade, of course. This is me talking objectively, but it's always nice to get a breakdown of the funding that you are requesting. As far as the transparency that is going to be there for the community, if you do get funded, it's just going to make it that much easier for people to know how you're going to be spending that money. So just a pro tip, just some things that I'm sharing with you guys, just my thoughts. If you're submitting these proposals, one thing I really like to look for, if you're going to vote for any and support any, it's always nice to get a breakdown of how this capital would be allocated. So would have liked to see that, but I do love the idea. Really, really incredible initiative there. If they can actually get funded, would be a great way to see more people get involved in Catalyst. Okay, let's see. Oh, a Cardano hackathon. That would be awesome. I think there was some type of hackathon back in, I think it was 2019, where in Wyoming, the Wyoming hackathon, who actually won that was Dwayne Cameron, the team behind Liquid Protocol. The guy's a genius. I mean, he's just doing some incredible stuff. He actually won the Wyoming hackathon. All these developers now, they are ready to start building on Cardano. So let's take a look at this. Their problem statement includes exposing outside developers and innovators to Cardano through a hackathon would bring fresh insight to the current ecosystem. I agree, most certainly. Now, as far as their solution to the problem, hosting a Cardano-based hackathon would encourage developers to explore and experiment with the space. Absolutely, absolutely. So they have some details here, not a whole lot in terms of how they would use this capital. They've requested $30,000 in funding. As far as their plan, so the hackathon will contain a list of topics or issues that participants could innovate, improve, or help build. So I love the idea, just getting developers excited about building stuff for Cardano. I think it's cool. So it's a very, very basic proposal that they've put together, but it's a nice idea that they have. All right, let's go and take a look. So we're just going to move on to the next category. Let's see, what is the next one? So we just did proposer outreach. Next is going to be Catalyst value onboarding. So we've got 12 proposals in Catalyst value onboarding. Let's see, what is the mission statement there? So another $50,000 in ADA will be used to fund proposals in this category. And they're saying, how can we encourage more meaningful participation in Project Catalyst from community members in the next two funds? So in a way, it's very similar to the other category, but I feel like this is going to be more geared towards the people who are already involved in the Cardano ecosystem. So let's go ahead and browse some of these ideas. Wow, so the first one has gotten quite a bit of support from the community. Check this out. So Social Physics Balloon Challenge. Interesting. So let's take a look at that. This one's got 45 kudos from the community. So their problem statement is that Catalyst lacks the ability to create value to engage community members. We're also challenged with defining value. Okay, that's interesting. So describe your solution to the problem. We would combine the DARPA Red Balloons Challenge and create agile teams. We incentivize the community members, proposers, mentors, and advisors. Okay. So this challenge is about creating value in Catalyst that can be realized by all participants. To incentivize the network participants, we must organize participants in pattern and unpatterned groups. And once the groups are defined, we will create challenges and track exchanges of value within the ecosystem and insert a minted coin to distribute to all actors within Catalyst. Okay, so just from what I'm gauging from this, so they want to incentivize participating in Project Catalyst, which makes a lot of sense. I think that if you have the correct incentives, you can motivate somebody to do a lot of things. So I guess the same would apply in Project Catalyst and voting. So it makes sense. I do understand what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do with the funding is create a platform like this. And they are requesting $30,000 in funding. So they've got 6 members within their group. So I guess their funding would be allocated to, paying their people. Not much of a breakdown here in terms of how this capital would be allocated. But it is a cool idea. It is a very cool idea. Yeah, incentivizing participation in catalysts, definitely. Let me go back. Cool idea there. Another one, this one's got quite a bit of support from the community as well. Project Catalyst landing page. Okay. Problem statement is that there is no central place for new and existing community members of Project Catalyst to find the info and links they need. Yeah, so this is, I guess, some type of platform that they would want to build. So a landing page pretty much giving you an overview of where you can find all these relevant links. Okay, so they've got a roadmap, they've got relevant experience, they've got a breakdown of how they intend on using the capital. So things like this, it's a little bit more reassuring to see. So as far as if this proposal were to get funded, it would make me feel a little bit better about seeing their progress and, knowing that that capital was allocated correctly. So nice to see that. Pretty much they want to pay their people. They're asking for $10,000 US, pretty much to create a site or a platform that would aggregate all this data and put it into a one-stop shop. So I like that. Really cool idea. All right, so I'm going to close out of this one. Let's go back. We'll go ahead and take a look at local community centers and the Cardano community choice. Those are going to be the last 2 categories. Before we do, I'm going to quickly turn to the chat. Let me see if we have any questions. All right, let's see. Tim, what is up, Tim? Cool that you're doing this. Yeah, thanks so much for joining today. Belmer says, thank you. Greetings from Colombia. Belmer, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Let's see here. All right, guys. Cool. So not a whole lot of questions in the chat. All good. We're going to keep on going through it. We've got 2 more categories to go through here for this Fund4. And then we'll go ahead and take any last minute proposals you guys would like us to take a look at. Any questions that you guys have, be more than happy to do my best to answer those questions about Project Catalyst. And we will go ahead and sign off for the day. We've been going for about an hour. It's been a while since we've done a live stream, so I'm so excited to see everybody join us today. I really appreciate it. So this next one is going to be local community centers. So $50,000 in ADA is going to be allocated to this specific category. How can we mobilize the community to solve local problems using Cardano through a local community center model supported by the CF? Interesting. So really cool ideas here. Let's see what has been proposed by members in the community. And what's really cool about this is that since Project Catalyst is global, it's decentralized, this doesn't have to necessarily be just in the States or in places like Europe or in other parts of the developed world. You're going to start to see these community centers taking shape in other places like Africa, perfect example, Central America. A lot of these developing parts of the world that really do need this infrastructure are going to form these tight-knit communities on how we can bring value together and add to the Cardano ecosystem. So amazing to see this. And I guess one thing that goes right to that is going to be an LCC in Brazil for growth and adoption. So this is from Tiago. So let's go to take a look at this proposal. It's awesome to see what happened in El Salvador too, with Bitcoin being accepted as legal tender. It kind of set off a domino effect, really, just to see a lot of these Central American countries now getting on the crypto bandwagon. To think that some of these developed countries like the United States are actually looking like getting left behind, right? They just haven't put in the correct work, at least from my opinion, to get the correct legislation in time. Now we're going to see all these developing countries, developing economies, leapfrogging these other nations that have so many different tight rules and laws and all these regulations. So yeah, I think that these developing parts of the world have a big advantage with that. Now, this LCC in Brazil for growth and adoption is going to be a lack of optimization in community communication during Cardano's growth phase. So we need more content translation, and more core members are overloaded. Okay, interesting. So describe your solution to the problem. So we want to hire more content translators, designers, and maybe video editors. We need to strengthen our presence in Brazil and Lusitans. Yeah, absolutely. So Tiago is actually a stake pool operator. So he does incredible stuff for the community as well. I really liked his breakdown for his proposal. I've got some links here. He's a Cardano ambassador. Really cool stuff there. As far as what they are requesting in terms of their proposal, so they're asking for $14,400 in funding. And as far as how this capital would be allocated, he does have a budget breakdown. Very nice to see that. So we're talking about LCC management, about 20 hours a week. So they're going to use about $400 for that. Content translation on demand initially, about $400 a month. Graphics, motion creation, stuff like that. So $400 a month, totaling about $14,400. So they're going to be doing this for 12 months with this proposal. So this is going to get them going for an entire year. So cool to see that. You know, it'd be great to see Tiago get funded. I know he's a very active community member in some of the chats, and he's helped a lot of people out. He's a stake pool operator, Cardano ambassador. So really cool to see that proposal from Tiago. Going back here. So yeah, I mean, as far as the ideas by members in the community, here's another one. This is going to be for Africa. That's a perfect example. You know, we saw Brazil, we saw places in Africa. You know, we're talking about WADA, right? The West African Decentralized Alliance. This is for the Congo. So cool to see all this. This is coming from Africa. Bitcoin scams have led the government to take a negative stance on cryptocurrencies that results in bans and discourage blockchain adoption. And we're seeing a lot of that in developed parts of the world too, unfortunately. Now, describe your solution to the problem is create a local blockchain hub for solution design for developer and policymaker onboarding. Wow. Great idea. They've got a well laid out plan. They've got their target audience. They've got a roadmap. Stuff like this. Yeah, definitely. The budget breakdown, very, very modest sum of money. They're asking for $3,000. Incredible. Would love to support that project. Pretty much anything happening with Cardano in Africa, I'm all for it. So would definitely recommend you guys check that one out. Cardano and adoption in Africa. Nice. Very, very nice. All right, guys. So we're going to move on from this one. We've got one more. Cardano community choice. So 29 challenges. Let's take a look. So this is the final category with Fund4. Let's take a look. So this is actually a larger category, this community choice. This is going to be intended for Fund 6 challenge settings. So what challenges should the community prioritize to address in Fund 6? So a bit of forward thinking here, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of these ideas. Oh, this one's interesting. This one's very interesting. So self-governing stake pools. That's a new one. Let's take a look at that. So this is from Marvin. It did get quite a few kudos from the community. As far as their challenge question, so how can we empower delegators through self-governance to influence stake pool engagement and foster a vibrant and diverse pool community? Why is this important? As stake pools management is centralized, which hinders delegator engagement, requires trust, and lacks accountability towards the community. Very interesting. How does success look? So pools becoming decentralized, autonomous, where the power is in the hands of the delegators and decisions are made by voting consensus. Okay, so I like the idea, self-governing stake pools. So how would the stake pool be maintained? Like, would you have an actual stake pool operator? Like, how do you rotate your KES? You know, so like questions like that are what I would have around that. I definitely like the idea in terms of creating a DAO, like some type of decentralized governance structure around the operation or the performance of the stake pool. Like, I get that, but I just don't know how you would be able to maintain operation without having somebody managing it. Because if you're going to try and do something that's like fully decentralized, I mean, like there's no one person that's going to be able to go in and say, hey, this is working correctly. We need to update the stake pool, or we need to rotate KES keys or anything like that. It's like you have a decentralized way of doing that. So you'd have to, you'd have to figure out voting and all that kind of stuff. So, wow, this is quite an undertaking. So they want a pool voting platform. They want a pool governance forum, pool governance tokenomics, pool treasury. Whoa. This is an interesting one. So they want $200,000 in funding to get this idea off the ground. So interesting idea. This is something to think about for Fund 6, but is very cool to see some of the cool ideas being proposed. We'll go through one more of these guys, just one of these that looks really cool. Okay, this one's just for fun. This is, I want to take a look at this. Cardano automobile loans. Can a Cardano-based automobile financing solution compete with a line of credit from your bank or car company loans? Very interesting. I think this is where DeFi kind of comes into play. So if Cardano is to become the world's de facto financial system, it should have a competitive solution for car financing. I like it. I like it a lot. That's really cool. So some of the things that they are thinking about is fraud protection, owner legal rights, KYC, competitive interest rates on loans. So it is very, very interesting to see this. I'm not sure if this is a proposal which they had intended to get funded. So they're asking for $1 million in funding. So I don't know about that one, but I do like the idea. I think it's pretty cool. I'm sure we'll see something like that with DeFi on Cardano. So let's go through these. All right, guys. Well, really amazing to see all these different ideas. Oh, I got one more. Got to do it. It's for Africa. You guys know how we feel about that. So DeFi and micro lending for Africa. This is also from WADA. Their challenge question is, how can we enable the creation of micro lending and DeFi DApp solutions that fits the African setting? Very cool. I got to say, out of all these proposals, I think that what we're seeing from WADA, they're doing some good work here. I mean, it's just so clearly broken down. They've got metrics, they've got their challenge briefing, they've got relevant links, they've got a detailed breakdown of how they want to use the requested capital. Kudos to the WADA team, definitely. So really amazing ideas to think about here with Fund 4. So what do you guys think? Fund 4, lots of different categories to think about with how we can provide value to the Cardano ecosystem. So let's take a look at some of these questions, guys. If there was any specific proposals that you guys would like to take a look at, go ahead and let me know in the chat. I will be sure to take a look at those for those who might be interested. KEWW says that landing page already exists. Lots of us use it all the time. Yeah, I was gonna say I did think that I saw something like that. I know Daniel Rybar, active member in the Cardano community. He does a lot for Catalyst. He put together these spreadsheets for how rewards were broken down. He put together a spreadsheet for the winning proposals and the total amount of funding which was awarded to them. So Daniel Rybar, one to follow for sure. Big shout out to him. He does a lot for Project Catalyst. Kareem says, Cardano ADA making decentralization great again. Yep, you know it. Chad says, awesome that you are going through these. I've been voting on and off today. Yeah, it's really cool, Chad. I mean, there's so many different ideas by members in the community. Really, the purpose of this live stream was to share ideas, go through some of these proposals, give you guys some things to look for when it comes to choosing which proposals to vote on. We were talking about how these proposals can be submitted, but there's really not a clear breakdown of how the capital would be allocated. So things like that on what to look for. Of course, you guys know you want to go through these and see which ones you feel like resonate with you and would provide the most value to the Cardano ecosystem. But I'm really glad to put this together, have a chat with you guys. It's really cool to see all the innovative ideas. All right, let's see here. My left ear likes this. Yeah, sorry about that, Twitch. Yeah, we've got some audio issues going, of course, but I appreciate you joining us. We're going to get all this sorted out for our next live stream. I had to shake the rust off a little bit. It's been a while since we did a live stream, but I appreciate you joining us today, man. Let's see here. First says Cardano is a world computer. It really is. You know, it's shaping up to be this global financial operating system. It's so cool to think about. So guys, let's go ahead. If there was any last minute questions, I will be sure to answer those questions. We've been going for about 70 minutes already, so closing in on an hour and a half for this live stream today. So I don't want to go on too long, but if there is any questions from anybody in the chat, we'll be glad to answer any questions for you. If not, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for today. So we'll stay on for a few more minutes just to finish up with some questions, but I really appreciate everybody joining us for our live stream. Yeah, you know, some of these proposals I'm looking at here, and it's so cool to think about, because I remember back in the earlier days of voting for Project Catalyst, like we had Fund4, Fund2, there was really not a whole lot of participation, you know, the ideas and the way to vote and all that kind of stuff. It was very clunky. But one thing it's really nice to see is just the entire experience of being able to vote on some of these proposals has been made a little bit easier. The barrier to entry has also been considerably reduced, you know, going all the way from 8,000 ADA back in Fund2 to now 500 ADA in Fund4. So it's amazing to see the progress that is being made, and just to see all the participation by members in the community. It's a lot of progress. So guys, it looks like we're drying up here in the chat. It's all good. We've been going for quite a while. Duckpool says, thanks, Pritesh. Thanks so much, brother. I really appreciate you. You know, the moral support goes a long way. I definitely tell you that. I hope you're doing well, man. We will definitely have to catch up sometime, but thanks so much for joining for the live stream. So guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I appreciate everybody tuning in. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys are able to get out there, vote for your favorite Project Catalyst proposals. If you have one that you like, go ahead and tag me on Twitter, and we'll see if we can get some information on it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to drop a like before you head out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.